Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video for today. So in today's video, I do want to touch on one specific company that I've been buying more recently. That company is Rubrik. I'll tell you everything you need to know about that company. But first up, yes, some market macro things to discuss. Of course, there's a lot of red today, Friday. There has been a lot of red throughout the last couple of days as well. As you can see, Nvidia is down double digits. Broadcom also almost double digits. We have Amazon down a little bit, 3.7%. Palantir down 12.8%. Oracle, Meta almost down 10%. So yes, there are definitely some names that are getting hit quite heavily more recently. If we look at over the past month alone, Meta is down 14.6%, Oracle 17.5%. Of course, Oracle has gone up quite significantly over the past couple of months. So we are having healthy pullbacks, right? Because if we zoom out a little bit, you can see that year to date, the majority of these names are still very much green. Some of them light green, which means they're up significantly, right? Broadcom up almost still 45% right now. But yes, this past week, it's been quite a, heavy hitting week, so to speak. Government shutdown, earnings season, consumer sentiment is maybe not where it should be, etc., etc. I think these things will pass, right? These things have happened before. And for everyone that's been screaming bubble, bubble for the last couple of months, well, if you look at valuation for a lot of these names, I don't think they are in a bubble. And plus, again, there are some names that, yes, have had stretch valuations, but now those valuations have come down. What am I doing? I did add a little bit of Meta. For the rest, I am just doing absolutely nothing. Next week, we still have a lot of companies, especially my portfolio, that will report their quarterly figures. And so I'll just wait until they report and then allocate accordingly. If the stock market does recover, okay, fine by me. And so in today's video, let's jump in and look at Rubrik. Rubrik on the weekly is under the 50-day moving average, still at around $71, $72 or so. If you look at the daily here, it is under the 150 and the 200-day moving average. It will only report its quarterly figures. Currently, the estimated date is the start of December. Year to date, the stock is only up now 7%. So let's talk about Rubrik. Let's talk about everything you need to know about the company in this video. If you enjoy this type of videos, hit all the buttons. We'd really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. So Rubrik is a cybersecurity company. Now, yes, there are many other cybersecurity companies out there, right? Zscaler, CrowdStrike, Okta, Palo Alto, the list goes on and on and on. Now, more recently, Rubrik did take a hit right over the past month. This name is down close to 16%. Is it company specific or is it maybe industry specific? Well, for now, it seems like it is just the market plus some of its peers. So, for example, Commvault reported okay earnings, profitability-wise did miss. Varonis completely missed the boat, both of these names in the cybersecurity space, but Commvault, of course, a competitor of Rubrik, so the market assumes that if it happened with that company, it will happen with Rubrik as well. Now, as we've seen over the past 2 weeks or so, we've seen that happen with other companies in other industries. We've seen that happen with Molina Healthcare and Oscar. Molina, not a great quarter. Oscar, pretty good quarter. But doesn't matter. The market puts everyone in the same basket. Fiserv, Shift4. There is not much overlap between Fiserv and Shift4. There's way more overlap between Toast and Shift4. But again, the market doesn't really care that much. And usually that's an opportunity for you long-term investors because you invest in a specific company. And yes, sometimes that specific company does much better than the other company. And that's the reason why the other company is struggling. So Rubrik, $14 billion in market cap. For now, it is not profitable, although it does generate free cash flow. I'll go over a couple of financial numbers and then we're going to talk about the business as well. So Rubrik, as you can see, Rubrik, for the last couple of quarters, it has been growing quite rapidly. Last quarter, 51.2% year-over-year growth. Then the upcoming quarter, growth rates are expected to come down. Those are the current estimates. So for the upcoming quarter, only growing 27.9%. Looking at gross profit and gross profit margin, the lowest point was right here, April 2024. That quarter, Since then, we've seen that gross profit margin is back in the 70s, actually making its way to 80%, and gross profit is, of course, following suit. Looking at gross profit margin, free cash flow margin, and operating margin, we can see that gross profit margin, of course, is improving, is doing well, of those over the last 12 months. Free cash flow is also positive, in this case 17.9%, but operating margin, far from it. Still negative 39.6%, but it is, of course, improving. Now, business specific, we can look at the following things. We had last quarter, cloud annual recurring revenue grew 57%, first quarter with above $1 billion here. Customers with subscription ARR above $100,000 did increase here 27.2%, but here as well, growth rates are coming down. Subscription annual recurring revenue at 36.3% growth last quarter. And then for guidance, this is basically it. Q3 fiscal year 2026 guidance, they expect revenue between $319 to $321 million. Now, what do the analysts expect the company to generate? We go back and we look at this number right here, $302.1 million. Quite a big difference, right? So the growth rate here as well, you can definitely change that. That's the thing, when you look at multiples, pricing multiples, those are based on analyst expectations. So it's always good to actually look at what the company is expected to report. Of course, they can miss it, but so far, so good for Rubrik. As for the full year, they do expect, again, non-GAAP EPS to be a loss here. Free cash flow to be between $145 to $155 million. Now they did add a couple of extra things that we do have to know with regards to subscription ARR contribution margin. That's supposed to be 7% for fiscal year 26, 6.5% for Q3. So they said the following thing: we do expect the Q3 subscription ARR contribution margin to be down quarter over quarter from Q2 due to the timing of expenses and as well as the inclusion of a full quarter of Predibase expenses. I'm going to talk about that. That's a company that they acquired. We expect subscription ARR contribution margin to move higher from Q3 to Q4, which is also why you're seeing that Q3 is lower than the full year 2026. Now, cybersecurity. We've been, of course, discussing cybersecurity names for quite a long time. You've known the most popular names, the CrowdStrike, the Palo Altos, the Zscalers, the Oktas, the Fortinet, you name it, SentinelOne, etc., etc. Now, where does Rubrik go? Well, Rubrik here, this is one of their slides. Rubrik has the most valuable real estate. Why is that? Data, security, and AI, and they're right here in the middle. Of course, I'm pretty sure that you can find these types of slides in a lot of other investor presentations. Now, according to IBM, the average cost of a data breach is $4.45 million. 97% share organization that reported an AI-related security incident and lacked proper AI access control. Share organization that lacked AI governance policies to manage AI or prevent the proliferation of shadow AI, 63%. Then, cost savings in USD, 1.9 million, from extensive use of AI in security compared to organizations that didn't use these solutions. Again, going back, Rubrik offers that. And by the way, this number is crazy, right? The average cost of a data breach, $4.45 million. Now, we can see that the data breaches per quarter, if we go, well, it's a bit outdated, but still, you get the point here. The number of data breaches nearly doubled in the first quarter of 2024 from the prior year. And with cybersecurity, there is prevention. Prevention does not mean that it is, let's call it, a bulletproof, right? All of the others, the Palo Altos, etc., the CrowdStrike, those are in the prevention stage. But it is inevitable that hackers will come in. Well, in Rubrik's case, they also say that, look, hackers aren't breaking in, they are logging in. And that's where cyber resilience comes into play. When the first line of defense does not work, the second line needs to work. Now, in the meantime, if we look at Gartner here, if we look at the Magic Quadrant for backup and data protection platforms, you can see that Rubrik sits right here in the leader category. Now remember I talked about Commvault. Commvault did report, and since Commvault is also here, you understand why the market reacted the way it did. Because it assumes that if Commvault got hit, on profitability side, then Rubrik should get hit as well. Moving back to that acquisition, Rubrik and Predibase. So this told us the following thing. It provides enterprise AI teams access to GenAI model and serving layer in addition to Rubrik's ready-to-use secure and governed data lake. It turbocharges model accuracy while reducing inference time and lowering cost up to 80%. It enhances Rubrik's leading engineering talent with Predibase team. Founders are highly respected Google and Uber AI team alumni who created the open source LoRa Exchange project. They also told us here the following thing in their press release. Gartner found on average that more than half of AI projects never make it into production, and it takes 8 months to go from AI prototype to production. Common hurdles include the risk in accessing valuable data, limitations in model accuracy and quality, high infrastructure costs, and a lack of data governance. These challenges lead to extended time to realize a clear return on investment. Predibase delivers better performance and, as we've said before, up to 80% cost savings and reduce AI infrastructure complexity over hosting foundation models. Moving on to the next big thing, and in this case, it's Rubrik Security Cloud. So it eliminates silos and disparate systems. Unified platform to go from preparation to detection to recovery from enterprise, cloud, and SaaS data. The Rubrik Security Cloud offers immutable backups, anomaly detection with machine learning, and identity security. The Predibase acquisition that happened in June adds AI modeling, and that's of course huge for secure enterprise AI. Again, I'll remove myself right here. You can see the comprehensive cyber resilience across data and security. This is basically what Rubrik's Security Cloud offers. On the one side, you have the enterprise on-prem VMware, Oracle, then you have cloud, all of the cloud players, SaaS, Salesforce, unstructured data, identity. On the other side, you have cyber integrations, Palo Alto, Zscaler, CrowdStrike, Okta. Those are also some of the partners. And here in the middle, you have everything that Rubrik Security Cloud offers. And I'll repeat, this is very important to note. Rubrik, yes, is in the cybersecurity industry, but in the cybersecurity industry, like I said, there are plenty of players that do a specific thing. CrowdStrike, Okta, Zscaler are also partners of Rubrik. Rubrik is in the cyber resilience. There are prevention players, right? You have those products, let's say, or solutions that should prevent hackers from hacking, from breaching. But like we've seen, it is inevitable, right? Like Thanos says, I am inevitable. Breaches happen. $4.45 million is the average cost of a data breach. Is that not worth the money to go to Rubrik and have them deal with it? I think it's worth it. I think it's completely worth it. And I think, unfortunately, with AI, we're going to see these data breaches increase over time because it is inevitable. Breaches are inevitable. Nothing is bulletproof. And I do think that if we were, or if we had a solution that was bulletproof, and I don't ever think that we're going to find one solution that will be bulletproof. I don't think that's possible. And so you'll need something like Rubrik. In short, this slide right here, page 5, is basically it. Cyber attacks are inevitable. Prevention and detection are not enough. Cyber resilience is required, right? This goes over everything we just talked about. Cloud resilience, businesses now run in the cloud. Cyber resilience is a must, right? They also tell us right here, identity resilience. This is what I just said. Attackers don't break in, they log in, they steal your data. And in order to prevent that, you have something like Rubrik. And to finish it off, I'm not saying that the rest is not worth it. No, the rest here, they're doing a great job at prevention. But they also know that it is not bulletproof. That's where a company like Rubrik comes in. I think everybody will do quite well. I do think that cybersecurity is going to be something that will grow quite exponentially over the next couple of years. And Rubrik, still being a small player overall, right? $14 billion in market cap. I do think, and they also think that they can go the ARR perspective from $1 billion to $10 billion in the future. That's the upside. I do think that the upside is quite big. I do think that Rubrik is still a small player in a very, very big market. And so, yeah, that's my, let's say, cybersecurity exposure. Again, I usually say you don't need exposure to everything, right? You don't need it. I just want it. I saw a good business here. I saw a good price, although the price of the stock did come down a little bit since. But I like it. I like the business. I like what I'm seeing here. Good leadership as well. And so I went with it. And so all in all, that's everything you need to know, in my opinion, about Rubrik. Of course, we will update when they report their quarterly figures in about a month from today. What will happen with the stock? Will it go lower? Will it go higher? What will happen with all the other stocks in the market? I don't know what will happen in the short term, but yes, there are a couple of things that probably need fixing, right? The government shutdown ending, I do think is going to be a positive catalyst for the market. But then again, focus on the companies specifically, especially now during earnings season. It's very, very easy. You see what they report, you see what management tells us for the next quarter, maybe for the next couple of quarters, and you allocate accordingly. So all in all, that's about it for me in this video. Hope you enjoyed, and see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.